Could you use a quick tip daily? How about a tip that can impact your day? My name is Raphael. Join me as I bring you tips by experts around the world. These experts have shared their knowledge and wisdom with me and will directly share them with you. Make sure to subscribe, like, follow, and comment, and I would love for you to become part of the New Tip Daily community. Good morning, Spencer. Thank you so much for joining me on New Tip Daily. How are you today, buddy?
I am fantastic. Good morning, Sifa Raphael, and everybody here. It's such an honor to be here with you on this gorgeous morning.
It is a gorgeous morning, and I love your smile, man. I love it. So thank you for that. Let's talk about one of the things that so many people don't realize how important this aspect of their life is the art of showing up.
Man, I mean, what is it? 90% of life, it seems like, is just showing up. Get yourself in that room, get yourself in that space around those people. Show up because otherwise you're missing out. Show up.
I love the way you show up. I mean, you come colorful, you come vibrant. I love that about you. I had the chance to take a picture with you, and you were like, it was beautiful, man. I loved it.
I feel the same way about you. You have this gorgeous energy about you. So when you are there in that space, virtual as well, but especially in person, you just feel that energy, that aura coming off of you. And we were recently at Jose Escobar's CLA Summit, and you were right up there in the front row every day, every session up there, sitting there, taking notes, paying close attention. Then you crushed it from stage. You showed up, and not only did you show up for you, you showed up for everybody you're impacting and changing because you took away so many golden nuggets from the variety of speakers that they had there.
Yeah. For me, if I don't go to an event unless I'm in the front.
Nice.
That's the only way I know how to show up. I gotta be front and center. And it's not about me. It's about me, like you said, supporting the person who's either teaching or speaking or whatever it is that they're doing.
Right. That makes a difference. And it puts you kind of on the spotlight too, being in the front row, because everybody can see you for the most part. So you're there paying attention. You're making sure that you're listening as best as you can and writing the things down that really resonate with you so that you can reflect on that later on and continue growing. And so I actually have a question for you here. I know it's, a new tip daily for me, but I'm curious. I know you go to a lot of events. You're in the front rows. You said you only go when you're in the front row. How do you get the most out of an event?
You said it, taking notes, listening intentionally. I'm not on my phone. Even if the speech is boring, even if the speaker is putting everybody else to sleep, I give them the benefit of the doubt because they're going to say one thing that's going to impact. And I'm listening for that. And even if, we both have sat there and we're like, oh my God, I'm trying not to fall asleep here. But
Right.
it's, they're going to say one thing that just, it clicks. And you're like, that was why I was here. That's why I paid attention. So for me, it's always about taking the notes. And a lot of people go, they take notes and they never look at them.
Right.
So for me, I take the notes, I go and I review. So many a time when I go to an event, I stay an extra day. And people stay an extra day because they're going to go sightseeing and this and that. I actually take an extra day. I spend a lot of time in my hotel room because I'm feeling out what I need to do based on what I learned. The impact. Oh, let me shut that. Sorry about that. I thought I had muted everything. So for me, it's always about how the takeaways and how they impact my life. Otherwise, why did I even go?
Right.
One thing before we go, and I know you have some great tips. You said that I'm in the front row and everybody sees me. If I was bald, I would do. You ever seen people, they draw a picture in the back of their head? I would do that picture so everybody looking in from the back would see me. I just think it'd be not only funny, but I think it would be interesting. But yeah, everybody sees the back of my head basically, and they see me writing
Right,
because I'm not there when I'm at an event. I'm going to talk to people as
right.
we spoke, but I'm not going to do it while a speaker is on stage because I think that's disrespectful.
Mhm.
And I see a lot of people do it, and because somebody asked them a question, but for me, I'm like, don't bother me. I'm focused.
Mhm. Right, you have that laser vision on that speaker and what's being shared, and, the one word I would use to summarize, what I see you doing is engaged, right? You are engaged with that speaker, even if they're not as exciting or boring or the ones that really are, speaking love, life, and energy into you. You're engaged with them because you never know what nugget might get shared that could change your life, what breakthrough might come from that moment. And, I think that's huge, like, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. So you have an event coming. Actually, you have a lot of events coming up,
We
um,
do.
and I'm going to share it right here with everybody. Take a look, everybody. This is the event. Go sign up. I'm also going to put it in the comments so everybody can go ahead and follow it in the
Appreciate
comments.
that, thank
Click
you.
on it. Um, So your events are different, if you will, right?
We are. We are different, we do events differently than many.
You engage people in your event. So tell us about your event and what benefits can somebody get by coming to you?
Well, thank you, I appreciate you asking, and, even before I answer that, I wanna piggyback on what I noticed with you being engaged, right? Because you were engaged with the speakers there, but because you're open to new ideas, new lessons, new breakthroughs, new aha moments from the different speakers, even the boring ones that could then alter your path, your direction, your focus in a positive way, right? You were open. And I see so many people in life, not just go to events, those that go to events as well, but other places that just are not open. They're stuck in their ways. They have that fixed mindset where nope, this is all I'm doing, this is where I'm going. And it's good to know where you're going and have that direction, purpose 100%. But be open to the possibility of new learning, new growth, a new perspective on things.
Mhm.
And that's what we really try to do at our events is to help people have these different breakthroughs, these different aha moments where they could gain a new perspective or add some new knowledge and growth to their life, to their journey that they're on. And so my wife Katie and I, we design our events very differently. So between the two of us, we have 20 years of classroom experience all the way from fourth grade through high school. And we learned and have practiced for 20 years of how students learn best. And what we realized is once we started to work with adults, adults learn very similarly to students, to the younger kids. It is different to a degree, but a lot of similarities. So what we do is when we've started going to all these different events, different summits and different retreats, we see how people are putting together and okay, I'm open. I'm open. So I get these nuggets, I get these aha moments. But yet, what we've noticed is so many people are leaving things on the table. They're leaving the impact, leaving those breakthroughs for people. They're not serving the attendees as much as they could if they just adjusted how they held events. And so we host about 7 to 8 events a year, depending on the year, uh, all around the world, right? From international events to the one that you just shared, which is our big summit. So this year it's happening in Chicago this September 12th through 14th, our big summit, 100 to 150 heart centered leaders there. And
Nice.
this isn't just your normal type of summit, ones that probably all of us have been to some degree, where you go, there's a bunch of tables, and then it's speaker, 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 right? And it's just ongoing,
No
which
bathroom breaks.
right, no bathroom breaks and nothing, right? It's just let's go and make it happen. And I get it. We're trying to deliver as much impact and value as possible, hearing people's stories and their lessons learned and the tidbits. It's amazing. And some go to that next level, which is great, of having themes for the day, or they kind of follow an arc of these are the speakers who talk more about business and its mindset or personal growth. And so it follows somewhat of an arc, which is great. But what we do differently is we don't have 1,000 speakers on stage. No, we are really careful. We curate that list. So like for the summit, there's 8 speakers. I mean, 10 if you include my wife and I. So 10 speakers total for the 3 days. And then they're very specifically picked and chosen on the topic and how they present to create this huge arc. So the event is the breakthrough experience at our summit. We're calling it Energizer Summit, the breakthrough experience. It's because it's all about having breakthroughs. How do you have those aha moments, right? We've created them for our students. Now we get to create them for you. And so we know that arc. How do you start on that bridge? How do you cross that bridge? And how do you arrive at that other end for that breakthrough when that aha moment hits? And so we're super excited to create this arc because it's different. It's not just speaker, speaker, speaker. No, there are bathroom breaks. There's moments when you get to reflect. Like you said, you take notes, you reflect on it. Well, we build in that time for you to reflect and do different activities so that now you are learning and growing in that moment. And even above and beyond that, right? For me, I have those aha moments, those breakthroughs when I'm doing something. Not just, I'll get them when I'm listening to someone and I'm taking notes, but I'm more likely to have it when I'm engaged in something. So the 10 speakers have to offer an experience as part of their time on stage. So they're not just standing there talking to you. Nope, they're offering an experience as well. So now you have opportunities to have more breakthroughs through them, through the different activities we have, along with hanging out with amazing energizers, amazing heart-centered leaders who are learning, growing, and that way you get to build your network, your connections with other amazing people, and just grow. So why not? Let's learn and grow and celebrate together in a way that's specifically curated, not just thrown together and okay, let's throw on these speakers and see what happens. No, let's be very intentional so you can get the most out of your investment and the time, the energy, the money that you are putting in. Let's make the most out of it so you can leave a completely changed person if you choose to.
Yeah, I love it because you just made me think of throwing spaghetti on the wall and
Right?
see what sticks, right? A lot of events are like that. And don't get me wrong, I've been to events where it's one speaker after the other. I'm like, holy cow, this one was amazing. And then the
Mhm.
next one, holy cow, that one was amazing. But do they always make it an experience from the
Mhm.
stage? And that's where some speakers don't know how.
Right? And
They
nothing
maybe
against them. They just don't know how.
yeah, they just don't know how. So that's an experience that's a great one because if you get a speaker on stage who can give you an experience, and I love storytelling because story gives you an experience. It
Mhm.
can take you on a journey. It's like that's why I love reading a book. It opens up your imagination to holy cow, I can do that too. Or look at that, I just learned something. Let me go actually take action on it. When's the last time that anybody listening now read a book and said, let me go take action on it? I wonder how many.
Right? It's there's a thing called personal growth paralysis, or like the paralysis of overload, right? Whatever it is, we'll take personal growth. You read this personal growth book, you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. There's so many strategies here. I'm going to implement it. And you're all pumped up. And then you start the next book because you're so excited. And then you read that, you're like, oh my gosh, there's so many great things. I'm going to take action there. And you keep doing that over and over again. Yet you never actually take the action. You don't actually implement the work. I'd much rather read 3 or 4 books a year and implement the things I'm learning, as opposed to just, I mean, if I'm doing it for vanity's sake of, hey, I read 12, 24, 100 books in a year, cool, if that was the goal. But my goal is to learn and grow and implement the things. So why not trim down the number of books I'm reading and actually implement the things I'm learning? Not all of it, but the stuff that resonates with me, the stuff that works with me. Same thing when you go to events. You're going to go to events, you're going to hear things that won't resonate with you, stuff that you're like, I'm not going to implement that. That doesn't make sense for me with where I'm going. Cool. But then you hear things and you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I need to implement this. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. And you're running on the high of that event. And most events are like, okay, yay, last day. Thank you so much for being here. And goodbye. Don't let the door hit you on the butt on the way out. And you leave. And you might have all these things like, I'm going to take action on all of this. but you don't take action because you get back home and then life happens again. Right. So also now you're not taking action on probably the majority of things. You do things differently because you stay that extra day, you reflect, and look how you can implement it. Most people don't do that. Most people just, okay, cool, I got this, and they leave. They're riding on that high for 3 days, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, and that's it. And event hosts don't do much to help that usually because they just like, all right, cool, thanks, goodbye. That's the end of the event. We try to make sure that we follow up and give people a structure and support system, not just 1 week or 2 weeks, but we're talking like the first month, 2 months, and even out to 3 months after an event at points, so that we're just like, hey, how's it going? I'm checking in. No judgment if you did stuff or not, but that way we can help support you and give you those tools and strategies for success. So much of success, I think all of success comes from implementing, taking that action. You can learn and learn and learn and learn. So what learning paralysis? That's what I was looking for earlier. You can learn, right? But you need to implement. So take that time to implement. When you're listening to speakers, take those couple nuggets, figure out how you're going to implement it, and implement it.
You mentioned about rather than reading a book a week, you rather read 3 books a year because those books are going to impact, right? Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with reading a book, as often as you can. But I would say if you're reading like a novel or you're reading somebody's autobiography, that's not going to teach you anything, but just for entertainment value, by all means, enjoy it. That's why we watch movies and all
Right.
that kind of stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. But here's the funny thing. My mind goes crazy when I watch a movie. I'm like, holy cow, I can use that, right? So I'm like, I start taking notes. So I use this thing, right? It's remarkable too. And
Oh,
what happens is when I can pull up the speakers from the CLA event. I can pull up the mastermind I was at. I can pull up the topics that were talked about at church last Sunday because I date it. I write down who the speaker is
nice.
so that I can go back and go, that's it. Or then I create another portion of that and say, these are the implementation things that I can use. And these, not good. Maybe they were good at the moment because I wrote them down, but I'm like, not really that great. So a lot of times I do my little chicken scratch too. I do that on paper. You see that all over.
Love it.
But what winds up happening is then this, it's all loose. This is going to get thrown in the garbage. But in order for me to implement it, I write it again because it gets written in my brain again.
Mm-hmm.
Mind. I love what you're doing because you're right. You go to an event and it's like later.
Right.
But when the event coordinator or the event master, as you are, reaches out and say, what were the top 3 things or top 10 things that you learned at the event? How can we help you implement? How can we be there for you? You barely ever hear of anyone doing that. Now, I do have coaches, right? And for my coaches, if they don't have a coach of their own, they're no longer my coach.
Exactly.
You're not that good. You're only good based on how much more you're learning. So one of my coaches, um, he spends $150,000 a year on his coaches, and I'm like, yep, that's why I'm with him, right? Because
Right.
he's not cheap either, right? But for me, it's money well spent because if I give him, let's say I give him $100, but he gives me 1,000 back in return, that's a great investment. Would you
Mm-hmm.
do that every day? Here's 100, give me 1,000 every day, give back.
Right.
And I think that you're doing that with your event. So I want to congratulate you on that. Now I'm going to encourage everybody to go ahead and sign up for your event. So tell me a little bit about what somebody can experience the minute they sign up, because I know that you're not just going to go see you when you get here. I
Right.
think that you do more. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah,
And by
thank
the way, today's show is normally shorter, but we're gonna take it as long as you need to.
Well, thank you. I'll try not to go on too long, but I
Mm.
will say so. After you sign up at the event, obviously you're going to get a thank you from me and Katie to say, hey, thank you so much. We're really excited to have you there, along with some of the rough details of it. Right, we're both teachers. We love planning and schedules so that you know what to expect. That's one of our things that we love to do and love to have. So you get that, but the breakthroughs that you have can start even before that, right? The mental prep for the event. So we help you not only after the event but before it. So with this event, not all of our events, but this one in particular, we're very. I mean, all the events we have like a lead up sequence to help you be at your best mentally, physically for that event. This one, I like keeping some stuff as surprises, but you get some special things before the events. Like we mailed some stuff out. The events out until September. We mailed stuff out in February
Oh,
for
wow.
that event in September for people who signed up for it as a little teaser and little things to help you put yourself in the right mindset. There's other stuff coming out later this month. There's other stuff coming out later this year, right before the event, along with having that group, that community to communicate and chat with and connect with. So now the goal of this is we're helping you build that foundation or get up so that when you arrive on day one, you get to the Intercontinental in Chicago, right? You're taken care of. You're mentally there, you're physically there, you are ready to step into your light time and time and time again. And we helped you do that prep work beforehand through the little things in the mail, through the other messages, and just love and support that you're going to receive not only from us but the Energizer family.
Mm, very cool, very cool. So if we were gonna get a mental picture, what is it like for us coming to your event? Let's say day one, whether I flew in, drove in,
Yep.
I, I took an Uber, whatever it is, right?
Yep.
Uh, what happens on day one? If you can kind of, I know that you didn't just put the events and put a date on it, but you can envision, you and Katie envisioned what this event is going to be like, who's going to be on the stage, what the experience is going to feel like. So I know it's very difficult for someone who's not there, but like a preview, right?
Yeah. So
Beforehand.
imagine you walk in and in this gorgeous, beautiful hotel, check in, get to your room, and you're set. Then when it's time for registration, we guide you. There's support and help you to find that room, because some hotels can be really crazy. But no, now you go down, and you're like, oh my gosh, there's people guiding me and supporting me. And then when you get to that check in, and you get to surround yourself with even more energizers, you're going to instantly feel loved, cared for, welcomed, and no judgment. You're just going to be able to be you, openly, authentically, just be you, and you're going to see family and friends that you have never met in person. Maybe you've only met online, and it's going to feel like you've known each other for years. And there's going to be hugs, there's going to be smiles, it's going to be all this loving, positive energy right there as we guide you through and get you ready for the event. Through that whole check-in process, we're helping uh, get you mentally and even more physically prepared for that weekend, along with all the cool stuff. So then day one, once the event begins, you're going to be, we talked about that bridge concept, right? The whole stuff before the event is you getting to that bridge. Day
Mm.
one, we're talking about, all right, we're here. Now let's get ready to cross that bridge. What does that look like? Day two, we take you over that bridge. We help you and support you, and we get to celebrate, right? As we go on this journey, have these different experiences. Day three, the last day of the event, we make it to the other side, right? With those breakthroughs, those aha moments, right? It's not just speaker, speaker, speaker. That's why we want people to stay throughout the whole event, because there's that breakthrough, that biggest breakthrough. You have multiple breakthroughs, but there's a big one right at the end, right? Of like, holy cow, this is it. You've crossed that bridge. We celebrate. We enjoy each other's company and celebrate the growth and moments we had together. And then after the event, right, we have all the follow-up stuff to help you continue on your journey to where that next bridge is going to happen for you, wherever that is. and we'll have other things and ways to support you, and all other bridges that we can help you cross. But that's a setup, and you do that with people who love you, who care, who aren't going to judge you, where you feel welcomed, where people can see you for you and know that you are truly, truly amazing just the way you are.
Nice, nice. Sounds like an event that everybody should be going to.
I'm
Um,
I'm ridiculously excited for it.
yeah, yeah. So, what made you to even start to do events, and why? Because events can be draining, and you're the super positivity energizer bunny, if you will.
Yep.
But they can be draining because there's a lot of work that goes before the event, and you're doing a lot already, right? And look, you have your Batman cup. I love it. So your superhero, you had to tell everybody I'm a superhero. But here's the thing: there's so much that goes into not only planning an event, doing the event, setting everything up. What made you and Katie say, this is how we're gonna spend this weekend or this time?
We love seeing the aha moment for people. It was one of the driving forces for me in the classroom, one of the driving forces for Katie in the classroom, is to see people have those aha moments, those epiphanies, the breakthroughs, whatever you want to call it, because it's so not just amazing to see, but it's energizing for them, energizing for us. And when we host events, we can help people have those more and more, right? So again, we've learned how to do that in the classroom to the best of our abilities. So now we're bringing that to the events. Let's help people have those aha moments. And be, uh, because we've seen it, but we've also experienced it. For me, I love when I have those aha moments because it changes who I am. I can never go back to the way I thought or looked at that thing before. I can't. I'm changed forever. I've stepped into my light time and time and time again. And every time I do it, I feel incredible and amazing and learning, and the growth is incredible. I feel like I'm shining brighter because I am. And so then we get to help people do the same. And like we've been hosting personal growth events for over 4 years now, but we've been hosting events of a variety of natures, everything from 4 people to well over 1,000 people for the last 17 years. We've been hosting events.
Mm.
So this isn't like a new field for us. This isn't something brand spanking new, like we're testing out these crazy waters. No, we've done it. We've proven these systems over and over again with a variety of people. And now we're really excited to bring it together to the summit idea. I attended a summit, network marketing company summit, and I was like, this is amazing. I love the energy. I love what they're doing. I would change this. I would do this a little differently, but I love this, right? And so how can we make this our own? And that was over 10 years ago. And now I go, and from then I've had this dream of putting on this big of a summit for 10 years, and now we finally get to make it into a reality so that we can really share and shine and help even more people. And this is the first year. It's the first year. I don't want to give too much away, but of a really cool trilogy that's happening. But even after the 3 years, it's going to keep going and building and growing. So, this year it's 100, 150. Next year we might be around 200. You never know, but you don't want to miss out on the first year because it all leads to amazing growth and you shining even brighter, having a bigger impact.
Right, right. And the only reason it's going to grow is because of the experience that everybody's going to have, right?
Exactly.
And I know that that's a lot of pressure on you and Katie, right? Because you want people to say, when's the next one? Sign me up right now, right? That's
Exactly.
the goal, right? But they need to feel so excited about what they've experienced in order to say, sign me up now. I don't want to wait, till you have a sign up sheet or a desk or a website. I want to sign up even before I leave the event because I think that's what's gonna help generate your next event, maybe 300 people. But
Right. 100%.
it's the experience that you want to give to everyone.
Well,
So
I'll tell you that, I mean, we have some of those things already set up. We plan on it being that kind of energetic and amazing and impactful of an event. And we've teamed up. So we have an amazing team of people who have run events all around the world to help us make this happen. Because Katie and I are great in what we do. but there's things we don't know, and some things are too close to us. Plus, it's a big event. It's hard to just run it with the two of us. So we put together an amazing team, some people who have worked with some of the top companies and brands out there in the world, who are now coming in and helping us make sure that people feel that energy, of this was incredible, this was amazing, I'm forever changed. And then if they hopefully they enjoyed it enough to be like, yeah, let's sign up to the next one, but get that positive energy flowing, with the help of the team, making all of those small nuances of things happen. Because again, right, we're all about having this breakthrough. It happens there at the event, but it also happens before the event. So we're looking at, how, well, not looking at, we are using your subconscious to help you have these breakthroughs without even you consciously being aware of it, before the event, throughout the event, and after. So it's really cool how we're going into the whole psychographics part of it, and just your growth as a human being, and what does that look like physically, mentally, emotionally, consciously, subconsciously, and really working through that.
Love it. Love it. So I do have one final question for you.
Yes.
You're looking to have about 150 people,
Correct.
and there's a zero at the end. How many more zeros do you want at the end in 10 years?
Whew. Well, I'll
Think,
tell you.
you don't have to answer, but I want it to be here
Oh,
because,
I'll answer. I'll answer because I know that number.
okay, good.
I've thought about this. Our goal within 10 years, if not earlier, is to have a summit that's 20,000 people.
Hmm.
20,000 people at that summit. Now we'll see. Maybe we get to 5,000 and we're like, this is good. Anything more than that, it wouldn't quite fit. But for right now, with where we're at, we see in 10 years, no more, hopefully less, 20,000 people at our summit.
Nice, nice. And that's the vision. And how long do you think you'll do? I said one question. I have so many. Um, how long will you continue to do summits for? Because this is going to be your first one.
This is the
Will
first
you
one.
be able to answer that after the first one?
No, I'll tell you, we'll have it as long as they are still impacting people's lives. As soon as it stops being impactful, then we're not doing it, then we need to change it. But as long as it's positively impacting people's lives, we're going to keep doing it. And I foresee this going on for 10 or more years at the very least. But we will see, and we'll adjust and change, and as needed, as the winds change. But I definitely see it going for 10 plus years of a summit. So get ready for the Jonesin 4 Energizer summits, because we're here to stay.
Yeah. So one last thing, and I think everybody should take note on this one, right? Get your pen and paper ready. Where do you find all those cool outfits you wear?
So, so for those of you who see me speak, a lot of times I'm wearing some funky, bright outfits. I love them. There's a lot of them out there. The brand I usually wear is called Oppo, OPPO suits, Oppo or Oppo suits, however you want to pronounce it. I believe it's a Swedish or Norwegian company, something like that. But I find them online, opposuits.com, and I love them. They're so much fun to wear.
That is cool. So maybe they need to have you as a spokesperson.
You never know. I would definitely be game for that.
I would reach out if I were you and say, hey, look at my speech here. Look at this one here. Look at that one here. Would
Right.
you guys support me?
That would be awesome.
You'd be the best. You'd be the best model.
You're too kind, but thank you.
All right. Listen, thank you so much for coming on the show, sharing some tips on the art of showing up. And I love the fact that you talked about being open for the possibilities, because that's how you show up anywhere, right? You show up to go to dinner with somebody. You got to be open to, hey, maybe they don't have the kind of food I wanted tonight. I got to be open to what they have. Or I went somewhere I went to the specific place and I said, I want ribs. They didn't have ribs. I was like, oh, I'm like, you guys are known for ribs. You don't have ribs. We ran out. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to leave because I know their food is good. So what other possibilities can I jump on? And so
Right.
you're right. You have to be open. So thank you for that.
Be open. Well, thank you. Thank you for giving me the time and space to be here. It's truly an honor. And thank you for showing up, for being you and sharing your love and light and being engaged with the speakers, with me, with everybody, with everyone who comes into your sphere and is impacted by you. So thank you. And thank you, everyone, for being here. I hope all of you will hop in and join us at the summit. There's some spots left, but they're starting to go fast. So I wouldn't wait too long. But thank you for being here and allowing me this space and opportunity to share. Thank you, Sifu.
Yeah, my pleasure, buddy. Everybody, do me a favor. Not only follow this young man, but go to his show, go to his event, go to the summit. But he's not just going to have that one, he's going to have other ones. So if you can't make that one for some strange reason, like I know I can't make it, but I'm looking forward to the future, to being at your event, um, follow him. He's got great stuff, and the guy is definitely the king of possibility. I know you call yourself the prince, but I'm going to just say king.
Well, thank you. I truly appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Can't wait to
All
have
right,
you.
everybody. You have this exceptional rest of your day. Everybody have a great one, and we'll see you next week. Take care.